The first thing the CEO's wife did after regaining her sight was file for divorce. Everyone thinks she's being ungrateful, even though for the past 3 years, I've taken care of her, attended to her every need. I even risked my own life testing experimental treatments to restore her vision. But facing her coldness and distance now, I don't feel pain, only guilt. In the living room, Willow quietly looked at me and continued, "Ethan, for the 3 years I was blind, you took care of me. I'm grateful. But our marriage was a deal. You, as my husband, shielded me from the gossip, and I solved my adoptive parents' company's financial problems. Now that Trent has returned, I want to be with him. I'm sorry. After the divorce, this house is yours. I'll give you $5 million as a divorce settlement." Willow didn't dare look at me, but my reaction was surprisingly calm. I agreed. Willow stared at me, stunned. There was no screaming, no angry outburst, just my smile. "Don't feel guilty, Willow. Our marriage was a business arrangement from the start. I always knew you had someone in your heart. You saved my adoptive parents' company, and I appreciate that. Let's just end things according to the deal. What's mine I'll take." I handed her the peeled apple one was holding. "Want an apple?" I don't know why, but seeing me so calm made Willow suddenly feel empty. Our marriage contract was for 5 years. After 5 years of weathering the storm, we'd divorce. It's only been 3 years, but you're in charge. You have the right to decide everything. I have no right to object, right? Willow took the apple from my hand with a complicated expression. At that moment, she felt my affection disappear. "I'll find a time to move out and won't cause any trouble. You don't need to give me the house. Just follow the contract and transfer the $1 billion to me." Back in my room, I finally sighed with relief. When Willow regained her sight, I knew this was inevitable. Today marks 3 years of our marriage. I knew better than anyone that Willow couldn't forget Trent, her first love. Even in her dreams, she called his name. The first time Trent called and I heard his voice, I knew that no matter how hard I tried, I was destined to lose. I went to my desk, opened the drawer, and took out a photo of a woman who looked almost exactly like Willow. Someone unfamiliar would have mistaken them for twins. "Sorry. 4 years, I've always treated Willow as your substitute. I knew it wasn't fair to her. She's clearly my family's savior, so I tried my best to treat her well. Now that the contract is over, I can finally stop feeling guilty. I just really miss you. Where are you?" I clutched the photo, trying to suppress the pain tearing me apart. Suddenly, there was a knock on the door. In 3 years of marriage, this was the first time Willow had knocked on my door. She had never entered my room, and had even warned me several times not to get any ideas. She said that even if she was humiliated, she would never let me touch her heart. From beginning to end, there was only her first love, Trent. Seeing my red eyes, Willow, for some reason, felt a little happy. It made the man who was about to cry even more appealing. I was originally an art student and played the piano. I was the kind of aloof, abstinent, artistic god that was trending online. Now that Willow had regained her sight and seen me for the first time, everyone was taken aback. In Willow's life, my appearance was definitely highly ranked, even surpassing Trent, her first love. When I first met Willow, I felt like I was seeing Xian, my first love, with her blonde hair and radiant smile again. My heart almost stopped. I confirmed many times that Willow wasn't Xian but another woman. The price for saving the Zhang family was my signing a 5-year marriage contract with Willow, helping the Liu group escape the negative impact of being dumped by the Liu family, taking care of Willow's daily life, and following Willow's orders. After 5 years, we'd automatically divorce, and I'd receive $1 billion. I knew Willow didn't love me. The person she loved was Trent. Willow was the Zhang family's savior, but every time I unconsciously treated Willow as Xian's substitute, especially when Willow was completely blind and couldn't sense that I was treating her as the substitute of another girl. I sometimes felt like I was extremely selfish, taking advantage of a blind benefactor to satisfy my personal desires. I felt extremely remorseful and redoubled my efforts to treat Willow well to repay her life-saving kindness, even risking my own life to test medicines just to cure Willow's blindness. Therefore, in the eyes of others, I was devoted and selfless, even sacrificing my life. But the true pain was only known to me. Finally, I was freed. I wasn't sad at all, just relieved and joyful. "Ethan, you know, I hate people lying to me and deceiving me. I know the sacrifices you've made for me in the past 3 years. Everyone says you love me madly. Although you violated the contract, I don't blame you because you healed my eyes. But you kept hiding your feelings for me, treating me like an idiot, which made me very uncomfortable. I didn't expect Willow to say such things. Clearly, I did it so she and her first love wouldn't have to carry unnecessary burdens. As a result, Willow directly exposed it. Sorry, Willow. I just didn't want you to overthink and create more burdens. I could only pretend that nothing was wrong. Unable to say that the person I loved wasn't Willow. That treating Willow well was just treating her as a substitute. Revealing the truth would hurt Willow too much. Willow looked at me with a serious expression. Ethan, you were never a burden to me. Hearing Willow say that, I was stunned, not understanding what Willow wanted to do. Willow also realized that her words were a bit inappropriate and coughed lightly. Although I can't love you, you healed my eyes and I'm grateful. That's what I should do. Without the Liu family's help, the Jiang family would have gone bankrupt. It was written in the contract that I had to take good care of you. I had to be responsible. Ethan, I want bubble tea. Can you make it for me as always? As long as it was Willow's request, I would unhesitatingly agree. As soon as I left, Willow didn't leave immediately but carefully observed my room. In 3 years of marriage, Willow and I still slept in separate rooms. The bed was cleaned very neatly, and the blanket was folded like a tofu block and placed in the corner. Apart from the wardrobe and desk, there wasn't much else. It was very simple and clean. Willow originally had a severe cleaning obsession, but she didn't feel uncomfortable in this room at all. At that moment, Willow noticed that my drawer wasn't completely closed. The obsessive-compulsive disorder urged Willow to step forward, wanting to help me close the drawer. Willow suddenly remembered that when she had passed by my room's door earlier, she had seen me putting something inside. It seemed to be my most important treasure. Thinking of this, Willow suddenly became curious and opened my drawer. When Willow picked up the photo frame and saw the photo, she felt like all the blood rushed to her head. At this moment, I was making bubble tea in the kitchen while carefully instructing the housekeeper, Aunt Zhang. Over the past 3 years, I had touched everyone in the house with my gentleness and kindness. Even the proud masters of the Liu family didn't treat me as a live-in son-in-law. Little did I know that Willow would still choose her first love, who had abandoned her years ago. Aunt Zhang, it's okay. It's a release for both me and Willow. Aunt Zhang only thought I was trying to put on a brave face. Who hadn't seen how much I loved Willow over the past 3 years? Otherwise, how could I have risked my life to test medicines like that? Ethan. Willow suddenly appeared at the kitchen door. Her expression uglier than ever before. Willow, why are you here? The bubble tea is almost done. Done with what? Willow suddenly rushed over and swept the unfinished mango bubble tea on the table to the ground. I was caught off guard and covered in it, staring blankly at Willow in front of me. Young mistress. Aunt Zhang exclaimed in shock. Young mistress, what's wrong? Willow was originally a noble person who didn't reveal her emotions, always calm and collected. But why was she suddenly throwing such a big tantrum? Look at this photo. Willow directly took out the photo frame. Seeing the photo frame, my expression immediately turned pale. I opened my mouth but couldn't utter a word. Ethan, I didn't expect you to be such a pervert. I can understand you secretly keeping photos of me, but you actually use this photo editing method to put me into your photos. Your actions really make me feel disgusted. After listening to what they were saying, Aunt Zhang was shocked. Young master, is she telling the truth? Quickly explain. You're not that kind of person, are you? Ethan, you really need to explain to me. Sorry, Willow. I clenched my fists, only able to bear everything alone. Willow was extremely angry and threw the photo frame to the ground. You really disappointed me. I don't want to see you again. Get out of this house right now. The further away, the better. The glass shattered and my heart ached along with it. That was the only photo I had taken with Xian, and the most important treasure of my life. I could only lower my head and walk past Willow. At the door of the villa, I looked at the place I had lived for 3 years and sighed softly. Finally, everything was over. Willow returned to her room and drank wine. Her fair and beautiful face was slightly flushed with anger and alcohol. That jerk Ethan, secretly taking photos of me, and turning me into a blonde. Why didn't I know he was obsessed with blondes before? Suddenly the phone rang. Willow saw that the caller was Trent, and her expression softened slightly. She pressed the answer button. Trent. Willow, I'll be back home in 2 days after I finish my work. We'll meet again then. Willow hummed softly. Willow, hearing your voice, you don't sound happy. Or have you still not forgiven me? Trent's voice was a little uneasy. I've already decided to divorce Ethan and be with you. Thank you, Willow. If you don't want to say it, I'll tell Ethan that the person you love is me. Mentioning Ethan made Willow feel even worse. All right, Trent. I'll pick you up at the airport when you come back. Without waiting for Trent's reply, Willow directly hung up the phone. There was a knock on the door. Butler Zhang pushed the door open and saw that Willow's expression was a little better than when she was angry earlier. He whispered, "Young mistress, I threw away that photo. It's disgusting just looking at it." After reporting, Butler Zhang was about to leave, but Willow suddenly called him back. "Give the photo to me." Since Willow had already said that, Butler Zhang didn't say anything more and handed the cleaned-up photo to Willow. Finally, Butler Zhang seemed to want to say something but stopped. "If you want to plead for Ethan, then don't. I won't forgive his despicable behavior. Young mistress, actually, I think this photo looks old. It doesn't look like a photo-edited one. Look, the photo has turned yellow. The material is probably at least 10 years old." Hearing this, Willow was slightly startled and carefully looked at the photo again. It was indeed as Butler Zhang said. This photo, not to mention 10 years, is at least 7 or 8 years old. More importantly, I've only been married to Ethan for 3 years. Butler Zhang didn't say anything more, turned around and left. Willow pondered as she looked at the photo in her hand. Although the woman in the photo looked very similar to Willow, there were actually many different details. Long hair, a school uniform, a pretty mole between the eyebrows, and teeth showing when smiling. Willow didn't have those characteristics. The suspicion in her heart grew deeper and deeper, like a thorn piercing her heart, impossible to remove. Finally, Willow picked up her phone, wanting to find my phone number so I could explain for the last time. But after flipping through her contacts, Willow suddenly realized that she didn't have my phone number at all. After thinking it over, Willow called her secretary and best friend, Lee-yeon. The phone quickly connected. Lee-yeon's sleepy voice came through. "Willow, what's the matter calling so late?" "Chien, do you have Ethan's phone number?" "Willow, he's your husband. Why are you asking me for his phone number? Could it be that you've..." Lee-yeon, as her best friend, naturally knew about the existence of her first love, Trent. After all, she had witnessed their love since they were young. "Yeah, I said I wanted to divorce him as soon as possible. Willow, I don't know what to say anymore. Ethan is so good to you, and he's willing to give up his life for you. Trent abandoned you without a word when he saw you were blind, causing the Liu group to fall into a passive position. The Liu family didn't care at all. Now that your sight has recovered, he's running back, begging to be with you. Are you addicted to love?" Willow was annoyed by what she heard. "Chien, if you don't have Ethan's number." Although she had prepared herself to be criticized, how could Lee-yeon, who had witnessed Willow and Trent's relationship, not understand? "Willow, if you really divorce Ethan, then I'm going to take that puppy dog away. Anyway, Ethan is so handsome. Whatever." Willow directly hung up the phone, treating Lee-yeon's words as a joke. The next morning, Willow woke up early. As soon as she went downstairs, breakfast was already prepared. As usual, Willow first took a sip of porridge and immediately frowned. This taste was different from what she had been drinking for the past 3 years. "Lee, didn't you teach the chef how to make this porridge?" After hearing this, the butler Lee was stunned and quickly said, "Miss, Ethan taught him and even directly demonstrated it in front of the chef many times, but no one can make it taste like Ethan's." Hearing that name, Willow remembered the photo from last night, and her heart immediately became uncomfortable. "I spent so much money. In the end, you can't even learn how to make a bowl of porridge. What a bunch of useless people. I'm not eating anymore." Over here, I had just finished washing my face when the phone rang. I was stunned when I saw it was Lee-yeon calling, but I still pressed the answer button. "Miss Liu." Lee-yeon's unhappy voice came through. "Why are you calling me Miss Liu? Call me Chien, you idiot." I coughed softly. "Chien, what's the matter? Did Willow tell you to look for me? Didn't you divorce Willow already? Are you doing okay?" Lee-yeon's heart suddenly ached. From what Willow had told her, Lee-yeon only felt angry that her boss and best friend were so blind, giving up such a good man and choosing that irresponsible jerk instead. "I'm doing okay. How's Willow?" I'm worried she's angry. Lee-yeon suddenly felt angry. You're her husband. Why don't you know how she's doing? I've already moved out of Willow's house. Ethan, you're really an idiot. You're so pathetic that it makes people's hearts ache. Why didn't you fight for her a little? Just then Willow walked in. Lee-yeon had to quickly hang up the phone. I looked at the phone with a bitter smile in my eyes. In the eyes of outsiders, I didn't fight for anything. In reality, this was a great release for me. Willow put her bag on the desk, her beautiful eyes looking at Lee-yeon. Chien, who made you angry? It's just an idiot. Willow, have you kicked Ethan out of the house? Willow paused, looking suspiciously at Lee-yeon. How do you know? Did you contact Ethan? Lee-yeon was startled and immediately found a perfect reason to cover it up. If you didn't kick him out of the villa, how would I know to call me so late and ask me for his phone number? You could have directly looked for him yourself. Willow intertwined her hands together. Mentioning this matter, she still couldn't hide the anger in her eyes. Willow, Ethan didn't even care about his life for you. Even the chairman had accepted him. Could it be that you forget who painstakingly cured you? Chien, the person I've always loved is Trent, not Ethan. You've always followed me and Trent, so you should know that Ethan and I have a marriage contract. Taking care of me is part of the contract, it's his job. Moreover, you don't know what a disgusting thing Ethan did. Willow told Chien about the photo and Chien's eyes widened. Ethan took a sneaky picture of you? And edited a group photo, changing your hair to blonde? That's why you angrily kicked Ethan out. Aren't you sure the person in the photo is you? Here's the photo, take a good look. Chien picked up the photo and examined it carefully. This girl looks too much like Willow. This photo doesn't have any signs of editing, I'm sure of it. Look at the yellow stains on this photo, it's obviously more than 7 or 8 years old. This girl does look very much like you, but she's clearly more innocent. Ethan in the photo is also from high school, different from Ethan now. Chien, you mean Ethan took a photo with me since high school? But I went to an all-girls school in high school, you know that, there weren't any boys at all. After thinking it over, Chien could only come to this conclusion. That's strange. Or did Ethan meet a girl who looked a lot like you during high school? At this moment, Willow was no longer very confident. If not, it wouldn't make any sense. How could there be such a coincidence? Chien continued to ask suspiciously. Then what did Ethan say? He only said sorry, Chien. You see his attitude, it's not like I didn't give him a chance, but he didn't say anything. How can you tell me not to be angry? Maybe Ethan has some difficulties that he can't say. This high school uniform, I remember it's second high school. Let's find someone to investigate and see what's going on. Arriving at the Jung family's house, Mrs. Jung personally came to the door to welcome me. After I called her mom, she handed the fruits in her hand to me. You came, that's enough, why bring fruits? Mrs. Jung said it that way, but her hand embraced all my fruits into the house. I was used to it, so I just smiled. That's right, your dad is gardening. The company isn't doing well, so he can't sit still. He keeps wanting to rummage through this and that. Life is really difficult. Mrs. Jung first sighed, then whispered. Ethan, you tell me, what's the situation with you and Willow? You helped her regain her sight. Did she say anything about rewarding you? I've already moved out of Willow's house. Knowing that this matter couldn't be hidden, I told her everything. After hearing this, Mrs. Jung's face changed. A big matter like moving out. Why didn't you discuss it with your parents? I was just about to say something when what, moving out? What's going on? I heard it in the garden. Jung, wearing a white tank top, who had just finished working, walked in with a grim face. Mrs. Jung pursed her lips. This old man. His son has already moved out of Willow's house. What do you think, a big deal like this? Why didn't the kid discuss it with us? Initially, it was said to the Liu family that it was a marriage contract. Does she really think Willow would be with his son? What can we say if people want him to go? The old man spoke in a harsh manner. Jung helped Willow heal her eyes, and she immediately kicked his son away? Isn't that being ungrateful? But Willow saved the Jung family. If it weren't for the Liu family's help, our whole family would have starved to death long ago. Moreover, his son has already repaid this favor. What can you do? Mrs. Jung choked and didn't know what to say. Jung glanced at Mrs. Jung, then looked at me. Don't think about it anymore, move back here. Jung knew how I felt about Willow. After all, the Jung family wasn't worthy of Willow. Now that Willow had regained her sight, it was even more impossible to be with me. Mrs. Jung stammered. Obviously, I don't want you to move back home. The old man seemed to run out of patience. Isn't there a room anymore? Jung became furious. If he wants to come home, you say there's no room? Don't you know how to clean a room? Old woman, throw away your old clothes. Dad, Mom, don't argue. I've rented a house outside and plan to go back to playing the piano. Now that our house has been renovated, there's not enough space. Moreover, it'll be noisy when I practice. It's better to live outside. Hearing me say that, Mrs. Jung's face softened a little. It's not that Mom doesn't want you to. It's really that the company isn't doing well. You see our family's situation now. I understand, Mom. I lowered my eyes. Even with the Liu family's help, it only helped the Jung family avoid bankruptcy and being chased for debts. Now, to maintain daily expenses, they had to sell the villa and move to this 3-bedroom apartment. If it were still possible to live here, but I was an adopted son, and there was also a younger brother studying abroad. All the money was being used on my younger brother. There was no space for me in this house long ago. Getting into a contractual marriage with Willow, besides my personal thoughts, was also to repay the Jung family's nurturing grace. After I sat for a while and was about to leave, Mrs. Jung secretly looked for me. Ethan, you absolutely can't let the Liu family take advantage of you. Even if it's a marriage contract, the Liu family helped our family pay off debts, but you also helped Willow heal her eyes. If she's so ungrateful, don't blame me for being unjust. You have to ask for more money, understand? Otherwise, you're an idiot. Remember, the Liu family will give you some money at the end of July. Jung stepped out and directly yelled at Mrs. Jung. Mrs. Jung, if you dare covet Ethan's money, I'll divorce you. Back then, when the Jung family was in trouble, Jung was incompetent and insisted on sending a large sum of money abroad for him to study at some foreign school. Ethan is a piano genius. Why didn't you let him go to the Academy of Music in Sanat abroad? As long as we spent a little money, the school would take care of the other expenses, but you didn't agree and even let Ethan enter into a marriage contract with Willow to pay off debts? Do you have a conscience? Mrs. Jung's eyes turned red. Old man, talk properly. Who's coveting Ethan's money? I just don't want my son to suffer. Don't talk about me like I'm a criminal. I had a slight headache and was about to intervene when a Maybach just happened to stop in front of the house. The car door opened, and a figure with outstanding demeanor and a strong aura stepped out. It was Willow. I didn't expect Willow to show up here. I was slightly stunned. Willow, what are you doing here? Ethan, we need to talk. Get in the car. As for Jung and Mrs. Jung, Willow only nodded casually and then ignored them. Ethan, up until now, you still have nothing you want to explain to me? Willow, I'm really sorry, I shouldn't have touched your photos. Find time at the end of July and we'll divorce. The ID card and household registration book are returned to me. I won't appear in your world again. In other words, you admit that that photo was deliberately edited? Willow was extremely angry, and her breathing became rapid. She raised her hand intending to slap me, but at this moment, I had already prepared myself to receive Willow's slap and closed my eyes, but the expected pain didn't come. Ethan, you think I'm an idiot? Why was I so angry last night that I didn't pay attention to the time? Now you're telling me the photo was edited? I already asked someone to verify it a long time ago. There's absolutely no trace of editing inside. Who exactly is this blonde girl? Why does she look so much like me? The thing I didn't want to happen the most finally happened. Seeing me silent, Willow continued. You don't think I can't find out if you don't say it? Don't make things worse. She's my friend. We lost contact for some reasons for a long time. The first time I saw you, I was really surprised. The two of you look so much alike, but you weren't relatives. I didn't say it because I didn't want you to overthink, to know the truth. Hearing the truth, Willow's eyebrows softened. Her last name is one word, Nguyen. Could it be that this is really just a coincidence? In high school, Ethan happened to meet a girl who looked so much like himself. Looking at this photo, you really cherished her. She's very important to you. Yes. She's a very good friend of mine. The smile I showed was extremely sad. Seeing this, Willow felt very uncomfortable in her heart. Could it be that Ethan had been taking care of me for the past 3 years? All the thoughtfulness, care, and warmth was all treating me as a substitute for Xian? Willow originally wanted to ask, but she couldn't say the words that came to her mouth. If Willow really heard such an answer from my mouth, I really didn't know what would happen to her. Willow, don't misunderstand. For the past 3 years, I've always seriously fulfilled the contents of the contract. You saved the Jung family, saved me. I don't know how to repay this great kindness. The reason I didn't want to explain was because I was afraid you would overthink. I hurriedly explained, a look of guilt flashing in my eyes. Willow didn't pay attention to my expression, but hearing me say that, she felt a little more comfortable in her heart. Then how is that girl named Xian? I don't know either. After high school graduation, she disappeared like a vapor. The only memory I have of her is this group photo. So you want the photo back? Hearing Willow say that, I unconsciously raised my head, a light flashing in my eyes. Are you willing to return it to me? Willow originally intended to return it, but she unintentionally said that. Seeing me so excited, Willow suddenly didn't want to return it anymore. You have to agree to one condition of mine. I opened my mouth without hesitation. Tell me what condition. I agree to anything. Hearing this, Willow's heart seemed to be pierced by a sharp thorn. Anything is fine? A group photo is that important to you. Ethan, don't regret it. After saying that, she found a turning point and stopped the car, dropping me off. Before I could say anything, Willow threw the photo out of the window for me. I accepted the photo as if it was a treasure, unable to hide the joy and excitement in my eyes. Thank you so much, Willow. Willow coldly said, a look of disgust flashing in her eyes. Ethan, don't be too quick to thank me. Not everyone can repay Willow's kindness. After saying that, she stepped on the gas and the car disappeared before my eyes. Willow took out her phone and made a call. Investigate the student records of high school number 2. See if there's a student named Xian. I want all her information. Xian looked at Willow with a frown as she returned to the office. Willow, my lady, who provoked our goddess like this? In my rented house there was a piano room with a white piano. It was what the landlord left behind when renting out the house. The landlord required the renter to be a pianist who had to maintain the piano before the landlord returned, so the rent was also very cheap. Fortunately, I was able to rent it. I bought a new photo frame and placed the group photo on the piano stand in the most prominent position, where the sunlight shone the most. Xian, so many things have happened during this time. Now I'm starting to play the piano again after abandoning it for so many years. I believe that if you're still alive in this world, as long as I continue to play the piano, one day we'll definitely meet again. My fingertips caressed the photo, reminiscing about the past, all of which was sweet. Suddenly the phone rang. After seeing the caller, I held my breath for a second before pressing the answer button. There was a mishap. A pleasant female voice sounded from the other end of the line. Ethan, you still have the nerve to look for me? Sorry, teacher, I've made you worry during this time. I don't want to hear your reasons. I'm telling you in advance, I haven't forgiven you yet. The voice was slightly cold. She was my music professor from university. Understood my talent better than anyone. I was a rare piano genius in decades. Professor had rejected all objections and reserved the only spot at the Academy of Music for me. She thought that as long as she gave me another opportunity to develop, I would definitely become a pianist who would go down in history. Because of this, at that time, Professor personally came to my house to persuade me. Even Professor wanted to invest in my studies abroad, but I gave up, which made her angrily block all means of contact with me. 3 years later, suddenly received a strange message. Professor, I still want to play the piano. Is there still a chance? Professor instinctively felt that it was my message. Back then, my giving up was like a betrayal. A knife that didn't draw blood that went straight into S' heart. At this moment, I showed a bitter smile. I know, I have a flight to the capital tomorrow. You come pick me up at midnight. Hearing say that, I was stunned. This is your last chance. I just don't want to see a genius like you give up like this. I cherish your talent, but I haven't forgiven you. I'll immediately reply excitedly. I know, thank you, Professor. The next day at the airport, I arrived at the VIP area and waited according to the agreed time. The phone rang. A message from, going to the bathroom. Wait for me for 10 minutes. But just then a familiar figure approached. It was Willow and Qian. Qian looked at me in surprise. Ethan, why are you here? Qian, Willow, what a coincidence, I came to pick someone up. Willow looked at me meaningfully. Ethan, aren't you following me? As soon as she said this, and Qian were stunned. I hurriedly denied. No, Willow, I'm not following you. I didn't even know you were coming to the airport today. Chan hurriedly intervened. Willow, don't you know us personality? Don't wrong people. Before Chan finished speaking, a figure suddenly ran over and hugged Willow tightly. Willow, I missed you so much. I've finally returned to your side. Meeting Trent again, Willow was slightly happy. Trent, don't be like this, there are so many people watching. As she said this, Willow slightly frowned and struggled out of Trent's arms. Having just regained her sight and taken over the management of the Lu group, countless eyes were watching Willow. More importantly, I was still here. A dark look flashed in Trent's eyes. Willow actively avoided him, something that would never have happened before. Turning her head, Trent noticed me and feigned surprise. Why are you here? Could it be that you followed Willow here? Willow came to pick up the plane. If you're a man, how can you come with her? You must have secretly followed Willow and planned to sabotage our reconciliation. You're really a green tea man. Willow also looked at me with a suspicious gaze. Only Chan helped me refute. Trent, watch what you say. He came here to pick someone up, who followed Willow here. As I was about to say something, a clear voice rang out from behind. Seeing wearing high heels approach. Ethan, did I make you wait long? Hearing this, I actively greeted her as if I had met a savior. Professor, let me help you with your luggage. No need, I can carry it myself. I knew was still angry. Professor, I've decided to come back, this time I won't retreat again. I swear to you. Flicked a glance at me. If you dare give up again, I'll break your hand. Facing his threat, I only smiled faintly. Faintly snorted, reluctantly accepting it. It's been 3 years, have you touched the piano? I reluctantly replied. Very little. A look of disappointment flashed in his eyes. Now go home and play it for me once. It's been 3 years since you practiced. I hope you don't turn into. You wasting talent like this only makes me want to destroy you completely. Seeing talking to me so intimately but not with anyone else, Chan was very unhappy. A sense of danger inexplicably rose in her heart. Ethan, who is she? I introduced. She's professor of the Academy of Music, and also my teacher at the Academy of Music. Now I plan to return to the piano world and continue to study with Professor. Chan became even more jealous in her heart. Willow said in surprise, You know how to play the piano? Why haven't I ever heard you play? Willow suddenly felt like she had never really understood Ethan. I could only respond with a bitter smile. I've been too busy these past 3 years. I didn't want to be distracted. Willow immediately felt her face flush with heat. She initially thought I had come to the airport to follow her. It turned out I was really there to pick someone up. Sorry, Ethan. I misunderstood you. I waved my hand indicating that it was okay. Beside me, recognized Willow, her tone revealing a hint of joy. You're Willow, right? Your eyes are healed now. At the same time, she was a little curious. You're from the family? Willow also recognized. S family was very powerful, only slightly inferior to the Lu group. Before Willow went blind, she had met a few times at receptions. Willow, let's go, don't stay here. Trent felt very uncomfortable being ignored. It seemed everyone was paying attention to me. Was even more shocked. Now that Willow had regained her sight and returned to Trent, the relationship was incredibly complicated. I don't want to be a third wheel here. Professor, let's go too. Anyway, it was Willow's personal matter, so wasn't convenient to ask too much and followed me. Trent noticed Willow's gaze turning towards me again, narrowed his eyes, revealing a dangerous aura. Willow, don't you think Ethan is strange? Does he have a special hobby of being a third wheel and eavesdropping? Just now, he stubbornly refused to leave. He's just a substitute, yet he dares to be so arrogant. Trent deliberately spoke loudly, as if wanting me to hear him. Hearing this, slightly frowned. She had definitely heard it, looking curiously at the side of my face. Professor, let's go. Chan was so angry that her face turned red. Trent, you're going too far. You misunderstood Ethan just now and didn't apologize. Now you dare slander him. Trent looked at Chan with some displeasure. Chan, whose side are you on? I'm only on the side of justice, Chan retorted straightforwardly. Okay, Chan, Trent didn't mean it. Willow noticed everyone around them looking in their direction. She didn't want to attract attention. Why wouldn't he mean it? Willow, don't forget who healed your eyes and who was by your side suffering the most for 3 years without a word of complaint. It was Ethan, not Trent. Willow's face also paled. She knew everything. Just hearing Trent's words, Willow really felt disillusioned. When did Trent become like this? Was it possible that Trent had changed after 3 years of separation? Seeing Willow's expression was not good, Trent hurriedly coaxed her gently. Come on, Willow, don't be angry. Just now I was just jealous. After all, Ethan has been by your side for the past 3 years. I love you too much and I'm not feeling comfortable, so I said those angry words. I know that Ethan is the one who has accompanied you through 3 years of pain. Now that I'm back, I'll treat you well. As for Willow, Trent had an extremely important task. This time he definitely couldn't miscalculate. Chien really couldn't stand the man's fake pretense. I turned around and left, saying to me, I hope you don't mind what Trent just said. Trent turned red with anger. Willow, look, Chien is definitely too spoiled by you. In front of you, her boss, she dares to insult me like this. Willow sighed softly. Let's go home and talk later, okay? Willow, I'll agree to anything you say. I know I owed you before, now I'll make it up twice. Under Trent's sweet words, Willow held Trent's hand and left. In the taxi, looked at me. Go home and play the piano for me, okay? I nodded in response. What kind of relationship do you have with Willow? I looked at in surprise, then I explained everything. Was so shocked that she couldn't speak. She knew about Willow's marriage, but she didn't expect that person to be me. Private villa, Violet Mountain, Kindu. As the car took me here, I was a little confused because this was the house Willow and I had lived in together for 3 years. Professor, didn't you live in before? The teacher's dormitory of the Academy of Music. After arguing with you, I moved out and went abroad to study for 3 years. When you looked for me, I was just preparing to return to the country. Hearing that Willow lived here, wasn't she about to get divorced? Were you still afraid of her? I didn't hear any jealousy in S words and explained. No, I'm just surprised. I didn't expect it to be such a coincidence. Now Willow and I are in the process of divorce. We've both moved out, so it's okay to meet. To make it clear in advance, 3 years ago you failed my expectations. This time you took the initiative to look for me. If you lose your will like 3 years ago. Didn't continue, but made a throat-cutting gesture towards me. This action didn't frighten me, on the contrary, I seriously said. Professor, this time I will definitely not fail your expectations again. Seeing that I didn't back down, then withdrew her gaze. I didn't say much, just calmly sat in front of the piano, using my long slender white fingers to gently touch the black and white keys. Natural music flowed out, with the appearance of beautiful melodies. This was Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata. Each note was like a shimmering lake under the moonlight, shining with gentle silver light, like moonlight falling through the flow of time. Closed her eyes, listening to my piano playing, her thoughts spreading. At the same time, a Maybach just happened to pass by the villa gate. Willow, sitting in the back seat, suddenly spoke and said to stop the car. The driver obeyed and stopped. What's wrong, Miss Willow? Shoo. Willow gestured to be quiet. She could hear the melodious piano music coming from the villa in front of her. Strangely enough, it soothed Willow's uneasy mood. She had just finished lunch with Trent. Trent had talked a lot about their past, and it seemed like nothing had changed. They were still the golden couple that everyone in the university admired, a perfect match in terms of family background, appearance, and ability. Willow was really happy. The first love she had missed for 3 years had finally returned. Although 3 years had passed, Trent seemed to have changed, no longer the person in Willow's memory. 3 years ago, a courteous and loving boy, but after all time passed, it was normal to have some changes. The important thing was that he was still him. Only when they parted, Trent actually wanted to kiss Willow and touched Willow, making some overly intimate actions. Willow told Trent to stop, but Trent showed a very uncomfortable expression, saying that if they were lovers, what was wrong with hugging and kissing? Willow couldn't accept this. 3 years had passed. When Willow was most in pain, Trent had never appeared. This fact ultimately left an indelible wound in Willow's heart, and Trent knew this, but now he was showing a very uncomfortable expression, so when Trent said he wanted to take Willow home, her first reaction was to refuse. Although Willow saw Trent's face turn ugly, she didn't soften. Over the emotions when Trent cried on the phone, admitting his mistakes and wanting to reconcile with Willow. If Willow wanted to get back with Trent, she would definitely have to face many storms, lack of understanding, and criticism from friends and family. These things made Willow even more troubled. All of this, the premise was based on whether Trent was worthy or not. If it was the Trent from before, he would definitely be a courteous gentleman who would respect Willow, but now, only thinking about taking advantage of Willow, was he still the perfect first love in her memory? I remember this villa has been empty for many years. Willow suddenly mentioned this matter. The people who could live in villas on Violet Mountain were all the most prestigious aristocratic families in Kindu. People often met, and more or less had connections with each other. If someone lived here, Willow couldn't have no impression. In the third year when Willow went blind, as I slowly opened her heart, Willow began to have hope and was willing to go out and stroll around the villa area, no longer afraid of contacting others, listening to me tell small stories in life. Obviously, they were very boring things, but I could always make Willow laugh, making Willow feel an unprecedented comfort. I didn't dare hold Willow's hand, only supported her with a moderate distance, listening to my warm voice, feeling the wind, sunshine, and fragrance. Gradually, Willow's heart was no longer desperate and painful. Ethan, how is he now? Where did he go with after being kicked out of my house? For some reason, Willow kept thinking about my meeting with her at the airport today, along with the image of me beside. They looked very well matched. Yes, Miss Willow. Yesterday I drove by here and didn't see anyone. Maybe the owner just came back today. Who lives here? Willow asked curiously. Being able to play Beethoven's sonata so fluently, he must be a famous pianist. I'm not sure about this, Miss Willow. Let me ask the management. Willow wanted to know the identity of the villa owner. The piano tune he played had magic that could soothe the anxiety in Willow's heart, easily touching her heart. Miss, what did she say? The owner of this villa is. Yes, Miss Willow. Please don't spread this outside. As a high-end villa area, the residents' information must be strictly kept confidential. Only because it was the imperial princess, the powerful Willow, did the manager dare to reveal a little. Willow was confused. Right. Was the young lady of the family. Her family was capable enough to buy a private villa on Violet Mountain. At the same time was also the youngest professor, hailed as a young piano genius in Manhwa. But it was again. Thinking of, Willow inexplicably felt annoyed in her heart. Could it be that I was now in S villa, and was playing the piano for me to listen to? In Willow's mind, the scene of me and being intimate appeared, those intimate images. A sour feeling welled up in her heart. The tune ended, still closing her eyes, still enjoying Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata. After I played for 5 minutes, she slowly opened her eyes. Haven't touched the piano for 3 years? Have your hands gone stiff? Are you regretting it? The moment she opened her mouth, it was 3 fatal questions. Yes. I scratched my head embarrassedly. Although I had used the landlord's white piano last night to practice overnight, because it had been too long since I had touched the piano, I was still a little clumsy. Fortunately, you still have your talent. In your piano playing, there's a kind of determination. This determination can attract listeners and sink into your piano playing. Technique can be recovered through practice. You were originally a genius. But if you lose your spirit and determination, you won't be able to find it again. You're worthy of me returning this time. I was overjoyed, knowing that S words meant I had passed the test, and hurriedly nodded, thanking Professor. Frankly speaking, I still haven't forgiven you for abandoning your career 3 years ago to marry Willow. It was really stupid. I just wanted to bring glory to Manhwa. I couldn't bear to waste a talent like you, that's all. Cough, cough, cough. Having said half, suddenly coughed violently. It won't do, I have to call someone. It's too dusty. Without even making a dime and not doing a good job. Took out her phone and, after inquiring, learned that the cleaning company that had hired had gone bankrupt half a year ago. At that time was doing advanced studies abroad and couldn't be contacted. Because it was a high-end villa, without the owner's consent, the management didn't dare enter on their own. What a misunderstanding. Miss, don't worry, we'll send someone to clean it right away. Hurry up. Hung up and looked at me. Ethan, the management will send someone to clean, it'll take some time. Where are you staying? I'm in the Xinqing area. Is there a piano? I nodded. Yes. Go there and play the piano for me some more. Willow's Maybach was still parked in front of the villa gate, not leaving. The driver didn't dare to speak or ask. Willow was immersed in her thoughts. It wasn't until the piano music stopped that she didn't know, until the villa door opened and Ian stepped out. The driver was the first to notice and exclaimed in surprise. Director Willow, isn't that Ethan? Ethan. Willow instinctively looked through the car window and saw me in walking and talking, saying something. The smile on his face was sincere, as Willow had never seen before. So when I'm truly happy, my smile is like this? Have I ever smiled like this when I'm with her? Everyone said I loved Willow so much that I didn't care about my life. Before, Willow also thought so until she saw the photo of her. Conviction slowly shook because she didn't know. In my eyes, was she ultimately Willow or was she? The more she thought about it, the more confused Willow became. Ethan, you're driving. Took out the car keys and gave them to me. Then, seeing a Maybach parked in front of the villa, a private villa had a garage, but there was only one road to get out. Had to go up and negotiate first. She stepped up and knocked on the car window. Hello, we want to go out. Could you move out of the way? Hearing the sound, I looked out and saw this familiar Maybach and was stunned. The car window slowly lowered, Willow's face appearing in my sight. Willow spoke first. What a coincidence. Didn't expect this villa to be yours. I just happened to pass by here and noticed that the villa, which had been empty for many years, had a piano tune and it was played so well. I couldn't help but sit for a long time. I didn't expect technique to be even better than yours. You're mistaken, Willow. The person who just played the piano wasn't me, it was Ethan. The moment she said this, Willow was stunned. Ethan could actually play and he could play so well? For a moment, Willow didn't know what to say. These things she really didn't know anything about. Marrying me was purely because the Liu family, in a moment of crisis, wanted to salvage the Liu group's face and find the easiest puppet to control. The Jiang family was short of money, and I had a good appearance, willing to cooperate with the Liu family to clear the shame at that time. Willow also had no right to refuse this marriage contract. After all, the storm was brought by Willow. At that time, Willow was blind, and the machines couldn't detect the abnormality. Even the top ophthalmologists were helpless. From a spoiled wealthy princess after only one night, she became a disabled person who was abandoned by her deeply in love, falling into the dark. Willow couldn't even save herself. How could she have the mind to worry about others? Most importantly, I had never told Willow that I knew how to play the piano. I came to beside and looked at Willow, and slightly opened my mouth. Why are you back? Hearing this, Willow suddenly lost control and shouted at me. This is my house, why can't I come back? Seeing Willow so agitated, we were all shocked. When I came to my senses, I hurriedly explained. Willow, don't misunderstand, I didn't mean that. I just thought that has returned, shouldn't you be with him? Logically, Willow had again Trent whom she had been waiting for, so she should be entangled with him. Why was she free to return to the villa? And Trent wasn't following? Ethan, that's how you are? Don't forget your current status, you're my husband. I'm with another man, are you so anxious? Willow also didn't know what she was saying, only felt an uncontrollable anger rising in her heart. The whole space immediately sank into dead silence. I couldn't help but get angry either. The one who wanted to divorce to be with Trent was Willow. We were just a marriage contract from the start. Willow had warned me not to have any illusions in her heart, there was only Trent. As for me, I was only because of repaying her kindness, treating Willow as a substitute, so I felt guilty and tried hard to be good to her. Because she doesn't have love for you, just a marriage bound by contract. What else is there to say now? Willow's words were basically insulting me, which was a bit unreasonable. Frowned slightly. Willow, I heard Ethan has filed for divorce from you, and he's moved out of your house. Trent flew back from overseas today. Aren't you afraid that Trent will be heartbroken if he hears you say these things? This was the first time she had seen Willow lose control of her emotions like this when mentioning her first love's name. Willow calmed down a bit. Ethan, are you coming back to me? I shook my head. I have to practice piano with Professor now, I'll talk later, okay? Willow was stunned. This was the first time I had refused a request from Willow. At the same time, an indescribable bitterness was churning inside Willow. Willow didn't want others to see. Closed the car window. Let's go. Yes. The driver hurriedly drove the Maybach away. Afterwards, I drove us Porsche away and sped off. In the passenger seat, looked at my profile. Ethan, are you sure you want to divorce Willow? Her first love has returned, you've moved out of the villa. What else can you pretend? Then why was she so fiercely reacting just now? According to S. guess, I was just a tool that the Liu family had found to be a shield. With my family background, I was completely unworthy of the Liu family. Now Willow decided to end this nominal marriage with me for Trent. Why would she still care where I am and what I'm doing? That action of Willow's in his eyes was like being jealous. Understood everything and helplessly shook her head. I also didn't know. After calming down, I felt like my attitude towards Willow just now was a bit too much. Moreover, with an old flame like Trent, whom Willow still considered her treasure, why didn't I realize before that Willow, such a proud and outstanding woman, was so sentimental? Now that Willow and Trent were back together, I thought the Liu family wouldn't easily agree. She still had a difficult journey to go. As for me, as someone involved, I wasn't qualified to evaluate this matter. When it came to missing our first love, Willow and I were both just as bad. There wasn't any better person. As night fell, Willow stood in front of the study window, twirling a glass of wine. Her eyes blurred as she looked out the window. From this position she could just see us villa. Besides the security guards entering and exiting, and I hadn't returned yet. Was it possible to study piano that late? Where did they ultimately go? Did they go out to eat or were they outside not coming back today? The more she thought about it, the more confused Willow became. She didn't know why she cared where I and were going. Clearly she had already made a choice. Suddenly the phone rang. Willow's heart skipped a beat, thinking it was I calling her. She hurriedly took it out, seeing that it was Trent. The excitement in Willow's heart immediately diminished by half. She pressed the answer button. Trent, what's the matter? Willow, I made a black forest cake myself. This is your favorite before. I'm on my way to your house. Mentioning the past, Willow's eyes became gentler. Trent still had a conscience, knowing that she liked black forest cake the most. When she used to be tired from studying or working, Trent would always appear on time, bringing Willow homemade food to comfort Willow's worries. If it weren't for Trent's thoughtfulness before and those beautiful memories, how could Willow, after being abandoned by Trent, still miss him and not forget him? Or you shouldn't come anymore. Trent, who was full of love, suddenly froze. Why Willow? Or do you already have someone else in your heart? What are you talking about, Trent? Don't forget I haven't divorced yet and what you did before my family doesn't agree with it. Now I need time to resolve these conflicts, otherwise, we won't be able to receive anyone's blessings if we're together. Moreover, if you come to my house now, what if reporters see us? Willow's explanation temporarily soothed Trent's suspicions. Then Willow, I'll just come by for a little bit. I just want to watch you eat the black forest cake I made, can I? Faced with Trent's not too excessive request, Willow was silent for a while. All right, Trent. After all, today was Trent's first day back in the country. Willow couldn't disappoint him. Although her view of her first love had shattered a lot, after today, Trent didn't respect Willow. But Trent was still the first love in Willow's heart, the man she loved. After hanging up, Willow happened to see a BMW 7 Series parked in front of S Villa. For a moment forgetting everything about Trent, I parked the car in the garage carefully. Professor, we've arrived. I looked over, seeing that had fallen asleep at some point. Was really tired, hurriedly catching an early flight back. Before she could rest, she practiced piano with me. We were like returning to the past. In the past was very hopeful for me, always being with me to practice, even canceling many personal matters. Thinking of this, a feeling of self-blame surged in my heart. I couldn't say the reason for giving up at that time. I owed too much. Although that was the case, I took the initiative to bow my head and admit my mistakes, and without the slightest hesitation, flew back from abroad. This time I definitely wouldn't fail her expectations. I adjusted the air conditioner temperature in the car to a suitable level, turned on a light piano music and closed my eyes. A warm smile unconsciously appeared in my mind. I had returned to the path of becoming a pianist. If I could still meet her, playing the violin for me, how great it would be. Being busy all day, I was also tired and fell asleep for a while. After a while, someone knocked on the car window. Woke up first, she rubbed her aching temples, looking at me beside her. Really falling asleep again? Pressed the button to lower the window. In front of her was the face of a middle-aged aunt she didn't recognize. Is there something? Sorry, miss, I'm the maid from Miss Willow's house. I came to look for Mr. Ethan. Through Aunt Zhang's call, I slowly woke up. Professor, sorry I fell asleep. Aunt Zhang, why are you here? President Liu called me and said there's something she wants to discuss with you, inviting you to the villa for a visit. I understand. Realizing that my attitude today was a bit too much, I had to explain clearly to Willow. Professor, then I'll go first. I'll contact you by phone tomorrow, okay? With my promise, then was a little happy. As I and Aunt Jeong returned to the villa, President Liu was in the study. "Mr. Jeong, come in," I replied and pushed the door open, seeing Willow sitting on the sofa sipping wine. The air was faintly filled with the smell of wine. Willow's cheeks were flushed, knowing that she had drunk quite a bit. I softly called, "Willow, I'm here." Hearing this, Willow put down the wine glass, her beautiful eyes looking at me. "Where did you go with today? Practicing piano all day isn't enough, coming back so late and even taking back to the villa? Ethan, do you know your current status? If others see that Willow's husband, Yu, is driving another woman home, who doesn't live in the villa? How many people know you? Don't you know?" She didn't know if it was the car or what. Willow's tone became more and more sharp. I didn't quite understand what Willow was thinking. Wouldn't being close to be what Willow wanted? In that way, Willow wouldn't think I still had designs on her, and it would also be beneficial for Willow and Trent to get back together. "Willow, we married according to contract. It's about to end and we're in the process of divorce. Moreover, and I are only teacher and student, the relationship is clear. Why don't we quickly find time to go to the Civil Affairs Bureau and complete the divorce procedure? This way is good for both of us." Before I could finish speaking, Willow interrupted. "You're so eager to divorce me so you can be with, is that it?" Willow stepped barefoot on the imported carpet and came in front of me, the smell of wine from her body assailing my nose, bringing with it a deadly charm. "Willow, you're drunk." At this time, Willow was completely unconscious. There was no logic in what she said. "I don't get drunk so easily. Ethan, when we haven't officially divorced, the contract is still in effect. Don't forget, there's a clause that you can't be too close to other women," causing the Liu family to lose face. I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Why was Willow talking two ways? The one who proposed divorce and canceling the contract, the one who wanted to be with her first love, Trent, was Willow, the one who told me to quickly go through the divorce procedure and move out of the villa, not hindering Trent and Willow from rekindling their love, was Willow, the one who made me follow all the rules, was also Willow. The result was that Willow told me to my face that the contract was still in effect. Granted that Willow was the investor, my $1 billion was still in Willow's hands. Furthermore, Willow had saved the Jeong family. I was a person who knew gratitude and repayment. Moreover, Willow was clearly drunk. It was useless to explain to Willow. Why not just comply with Willow? All right, it's my fault. Willow, don't drink anymore." Being with Willow for 3 years, I hadn't lived in vain, knowing how to comfort her so that Willow could quickly calm down. Therefore, under my comfort, Willow gradually calmed down. Her drunkenness also became much clearer. Recalling the request she had just made to me, Willow cleared her throat. "Ethan, how about you move back here and live?" I thought Willow had calmed down and we could finally talk about divorce, but the result was that Willow had calmed down indeed. But the moment she opened her mouth, I didn't know what to do. "The reason for kicking you out of the villa before was because I misunderstood that photo. Currently, we haven't divorced yet. It's fine for you to move out of the villa, but you often meet, others will inevitably think, isn't it, Willow, what do you think I'm trying to accomplish? So that and could quickly be together?" Willow wasn't happy in her heart. "Ethan, 3 years ago, Trent abandoned me, irresponsibly leaving, causing the Liu group to fall into difficulty. Do you think the Liu family will easily accept Trent? I need time to convince my family to accept me and Trent being together. Now we can't get a divorce. If we get a divorce, they'll definitely be angry. It's also not good for the reputation of the Liu group." What she said sounded reasonable. I didn't know what to say. But continuing to be with Willow, I was really afraid that one day Willow would discover that in my eyes, I always unconsciously treated her as a substitute. At that time, it would only cause bigger trouble. After thinking it over, I had to mention Trent to restrain Willow, but would Trent agree? "I'll explain to him, he'll understand." "Willow, think carefully. If we don't get a divorce, you're still a married woman. You continue to meet Trent. If reporters take pictures, it will also negatively affect the Liu group. I'll handle this," Willow firmly said. "Ethan, don't you owe me a favor? I want you to continue to maintain the marriage. Wait for me to convince my family that I can get back with Trent. In addition, I'll pay you an extra $5 billion as compensation." I was helpless. This wasn't a matter of money. The $1 billion in compensation when the contract ended was already more than enough for me. Continuing to live under the same roof as Willow, the secret about the substitute, the targeting of Trent, and the piano path that I started again, would likely have many setbacks. But I had promised Willow a favor. "Willow, you saved the Jeong family. The favor to me is as heavy as a mountain. Money I cannot want. I can also go back to help the Liu family maintain its reputation, but we still have to divorce. At the same time, revise one thing in the contract. 3 years ago, I gave up my career to take care of you because you were blind. Now you're healed, I also have to pursue my piano career. This point, I won't give in. It was a reward for the favor and a mistake to Willow. Waiting for the Liu family to agree for Willow and Trent to be together, I would withdraw and be the best. Hearing me say that, Willow's heart couldn't help but ache. Do you have to divorce? Is it because of? Isn't Ethan the one who loves you the most, loving you so much that could give up her life for you? Why are you so insistent on divorcing because has returned to the country? In your heart, what am I really? I knew there couldn't be an answer tonight. I could only say, calm down, Willow. This is the best way for both of us. After saying that, I turned and left. Willow opened her mouth, wanting to hold me back, but couldn't say anything. The one who wanted to cancel the contract was Willow. Clearly, I had helped her, but she wasn't as happy as she imagined. Butler Lee approached and asked, Mr. Jong, how's Miss doing? Willow is fine. To tell you the truth, Mr. Jong, that Trent is really not worthy of Miss Willow. The person who should really be with Miss Willow forever is you. Throughout the years I had treated Willow well. Lee had seen it all clearly. Lee had never hoped that Willow could recover her sight and could stay with me forever. But Willow was because of the scum who abandoned her 3 years ago. It really gave Lee a headache. Uncle Lee, you're overthinking it. Trent and Willow are a match made in heaven. The important thing is that he's the only man Willow loves deeply. I'm not worthy. At this moment I really had difficulties I couldn't voice. I could only make an excuse and wish Willow and Trent well. Lee shook his head. For a man like Trent divorcing me, he was afraid that Willow would regret it in the future. Abandoning the past sweetness for the sake of temporary blindness. Disappearing without a word of explanation or accompaniment. Could a man like that bring happiness to Willow? I was afraid that he wasn't even equal to a strand of my hair. In the future, if Willow encountered difficulties, Lee didn't believe that Trent would be like me, daring to sacrifice his life for Willow. I wanted to go out and get some fresh air. The moment I opened the door, I saw a figure holding a large bouquet of flowers and a box of pastries, struggling to come over. Seeing me, Trent's smile immediately froze. His expression darkened. Why are you here? Didn't Willow kick you out? Trent, don't misunderstand. I came here only to discuss the divorce with Willow. Ethan, I'm grateful for you being by Willow's side for these past 3 years in my place. Tell me, what number do you need to leave Willow? That's beyond your reach, Trent. Trent's eyes turned gloomy. With my family background in Trent's life, I wasn't even worth being a clown. Ironically, I had a face even more handsome than Trent. Even knowing that Willow wasn't a superficial woman, after 3 years of marriage, being meticulously cared for until her eyes were completely healed, Trent could use sweet memories to hold on to Willow temporarily, but he might not be able to hold on to Willow for a lifetime, and I was the biggest threat. Helpless, I spoke. Let Willow explain the details to you. In short, we will divorce. It will definitely not affect your relationship with Willow. I just wanted to take the money and leave, but Willow, this powerful master, refused to let me leave. I still owed Willow a debt, and the promise and remorse couldn't be cut or untied. Trent shot me a warning glare. You better know your place in Willow's heart. There's only one man, and that's me. No matter how much you sacrifice for Willow, Willow can't possibly love you. I could only bow my head in silence. Willow, who was thinking about divorcing me, heard the noise downstairs and remembered that Trent said he would come to the villa. She hurriedly ran downstairs. Trent, what are you talking to Ethan about? Willow's tone was a little sharp. Willow, I just happened to meet Ethan at the door and chat for a bit. When will the two of you complete the divorce procedures? Mentioning the words divorce, Willow's expression immediately changed. Trent didn't notice, or even if he did, he still continued. The goal of this return was to renew his relationship with Willow. Willow, this is the purple lavender that you love the most. I'm giving it to you. Seeing that Trent still remembered the bouquet Willow liked the most after so many years, Willow's expression became a little happier. Trent turned to look at me. Ethan, this is the Black Forest cake I made myself, the one that Willow likes the most. If you don't mind, please try it. The words were full of contempt and sarcasm, confronting me head-on. First, he declared himself as her first love, then indirectly hinted at the matter of Willow divorcing me. I found this man very strange. Initially, I had heard about Trent, thinking that he wasn't the type of arrogant and conceited person, nor was he a wealthy young master who looked down on others. Except for canceling the engagement and not overcoming difficulties 3 years ago, in other aspects, Trent was indeed very well matched with Willow. After all, this was Willow's choice. I had no right to intervene. I'm going out for a walk. I'm not interested in staying here to be a light bulb and eat dog food. I'm not a pervert. Seeing that I wanted to leave, Willow suddenly stopped me. Before I could reach, she instinctively opened her mouth. Ethan, stay with us. Hearing this, I paused. What was the meaning of this? Darling, do you and your first love sweet and be with each other, while keeping me here for scenery? What am I, a decoration or what? What's going on? Am I dreaming right now? Now I didn't understand what Willow was thinking. Trent was also a little surprised, his expression changing in an instant. Since Willow has said so, Mr. Jeong, can you do me a favor? For the 3 years I wasn't here, I really want to know how you took care of Willow so I can learn a little. I had a slight headache. Forget it, it would be redundant to say a few words when everyone is here. Trent. As the host, Trent put the cake on the table, personally dividing the cake for Willow and me. Willow, you like this part the most. Black forest cake covered with honey. I even added wild mushrooms inside. Thank you, Trent. Willow's heart was touched by Trent's perfect performance tonight, recalling every moment in the past. That was the past that Willow couldn't forget. The important thing was that Trent still remembered, still like before, personally giving Willow her favorite bouquet, making the cake that Willow liked the most. The person in her heart, sure enough, hadn't changed. Willow's choice wasn't wrong. Although Trent was a little too much today, overstepping the line, it was also because it had been a long time since they met again. Trent couldn't control himself for a moment. Willow shouldn't react so fiercely. Thinking of this, Willow felt sorry for Trent, picked up the fork, and tasted the black forest cake that Trent made. Willow couldn't help but be stunned. The cake, after being improved by Trent, had become even more delicious, but in the past 3 years I had also made cake for Willow to eat. Before, Willow even lamented that she no longer could taste the world's most delicious black forest cake made by Trent. Now, comparing it, the cake I made was more delicious than Trent's? Why did she have this feeling? The things that couldn't be replaced in her memories, when regained, discovered that it wasn't irreplaceable? Is it delicious, Willow? Willow's nod seemed very perfunctory. Trent clearly noticed this, a look of dissatisfaction flashing in his eyes. Damn it, sure enough, Trent's ominous premonition had become reality. If he wanted to get back with Willow, I had to disappear. Just now, Mr. Jeong said he would discuss the divorce with Willow. When do the two of you plan to go to the Civil Affairs Bureau to complete the divorce procedures? Trent's tone was a bit rushed. If there's no problem tomorrow, Willow? Divorce again? Trent wanted Willow to divorce, I also wanted Willow to divorce. Willow was being pushed to the point of annoyance. In her head, the image of Xian, who looked a lot like her, flashed by. She suddenly slammed the cake on the table. Trent, how should I do things? Do I still need you to teach me? This action startled both Trent and me. Trent came to his senses and hurriedly explained. Willow, I didn't mean that. I have my own way to solve this. I've already delivered the cake. Hurry and go back. Don't let others misunderstand. Uncle Lee, who was standing beside them, didn't expect the situation to develop like this, but driving this bastard Trent out of the house was what Uncle Lee had wanted to do for a long time. Mr. Trent, Miss Willow isn't stable. Please come back another day. Trent angrily left. He originally thought he was the master of this house, the first love that Willow couldn't forget. He didn't expect that in just a blink of an eye, he would become a clown and even lose face in front of me. After Trent left, I really couldn't help but speak. Willow, you have to think carefully about the matter of divorce. It can't affect your relationship with Trent. Willow stared at me, as if wanting to see through my heart. Ethan, aren't you very much in love with me? Loving me so much that could give up your life? Why are you urging me to divorce? Willow, the person you love is Trent, he's your first love. These things, haven't you already decided? I really didn't understand what she wanted to do. My words directly hurt Willow's heart. Why did Willow instinctively refuse to divorce me? Even Willow herself didn't understand clearly what she wanted to do. This matter of divorce needs to be carefully considered. Not only will it affect you, me and Trent, but also the Lu group. I don't want to cause trouble. After saying these words, Willow didn't say anything more and went upstairs, leaving me in disarray. Was Willow crazy? No, wasn't what I expected. The next day, I arrived at the floor of the Lu Group building. Looking at the high-rise building in front of me, I narrowed my eyes. It was time to have an end. In the office, Willow's voice was a little angry. Ethan, I told you to stay home, why did you go? I looked at Willow coldly. I've rented an apartment outside and starting today, I'm moving back in. I didn't want to say these words a second time. Willow, I said very clearly about this matter last night. I can move back, but we have to complete the divorce procedures first. I also have to pursue my career. Willow stared blankly at me. Was this still the Ethan from the past, the one who was always attentive and accommodating in everything? Since Willow discovered the photo of me with Xian, I seemed to have really changed. Ultimately, was the person I loved in Xian? Willow's voice became smaller. Ethan, you weren't like this before. Willow, for all three of us, divorce is the best choice. Before, I followed the contents of the contract, grateful for the favor of the Jiang family to me, always catering to your wishes. Now your eyes have healed, the contract has ended, I should also pursue what I want. Hearing this, Willow lost her composure, looking at me and saying, Ethan, don't forget. There are still 2 years left in the contract. Now you're not listening to my orders, meaning you're not complying with the contents of the contract. I have the right to take back everything I've given you. I had never seen Willow like this. Ethan, I just don't want to add trouble. Divorce is fine, but not now. Consider it as me begging you. Can you move back home? Let's talk about the divorce later. Didn't you say that you owe me a favor? Mentioning this favor, I didn't get angry anymore. Okay, I can move back home. I can also postpone the divorce, but I won't return the house outside. You also can't interfere in my career. Willow had to reluctantly agree. After I left, Chin stepped in. Willow, about the divorce, how did you discuss it with Ethan? Seeing Chin's expectant eyes, Willow became even more uncomfortable in her heart. I don't plan to divorce Ethan. Hearing this, Chin showed a look of surprise. Then are you planning to get back with Trent? Willow, what are you ultimately thinking? It's not the time to divorce now, Willow, you're not regretting it, are you? It can't be that you've fallen in love with Ethan, right? Willow hurriedly denied. The person I love is Trent, always has been. After Chin left, Willow received a message. Miss Liu, we've almost finished collecting this information. On the other side, I arrived at the Academy of Music, looking at the familiar school scene before me, like the most melodious music on a summer morning. There was a time when I was also a member here. S voice suddenly sounded from behind. What are you thinking about? Professor. I turned around and said with a smile, what a coincidence, I was just about to contact you. Looked at me and said with a smile, I'm just afraid this kid will suddenly run away. All right, let's go into the piano room and start. Ethan, now you have to quickly regain your memories from before. I'll start arranging competitions for you. You disappeared for 3 years, missing too many competition achievements. You can only start from level 1. Now you have to achieve many high scores from domestic judges to be able to quickly upgrade to participate in international piano competitions. With S kindness, I didn't know how to repay. I could only use a piano piece to give her. In the piano room, my long white fingers rested on the black and white keys. Clearly, each time they touched, they caused the subtle dust particles in the air to stir, flexibly moving back and forth between the keys, like the brightest stars in the night sky, leading the trajectory of the music, creating a brilliant and outstanding musical painting. Unexpectedly, many students had gathered outside the piano room. Most of them had heard about my genius of the Academy of Music back then and had returned to school with, wanting to listen to my piano playing in person. They had heard so much about my videos, but it still couldn't compare to witnessing it with their own eyes. This Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata. I played it very well, each note making the listener overwhelmed with sorrow and boundless sadness. The music ended, still closing her eyes and enjoying it. Outside the piano room, applause suddenly rang out. Hearing this, coughed a few times, looking towards the group of students and saying, Ethan needs to focus on practicing now, don't gather outside the piano room. Had to be strict to chase them away. In the crowd, a petite female student suddenly ran out, her long hair dyed blonde flying in the wind, holding a violin and running over, out of breath. Professor, wait for me. At that moment I felt like I had stopped breathing, just like the girl who had saved me in high school. I jolted up immediately, and after being stunned for a moment, I realized that the girl in front of me wasn't Xian. I slowly sat down on the chair. naturally recognized my abnormality. Ethan, do you know her? I shook my head. The blonde girl ran in front of me and explained. My name is Hannah Quinn. I'm a freshman in the violin department. Senior Ethan may not know me, but I know you. The first time I heard your piano playing, I decided that if I ever met Senior, I would want you to accompany me on the piano. I know this request is very abrupt and selfish, but I have to consider that this is the only opportunity in my life. Can Senior accompany me on a song? Hannah said all the words in her heart in one breath without stopping, finally almost running out of breath, her small face flushed. Everyone was in an uproar. She's Hannah Quinn. I've heard that this year, the violin department specially selected a young violin genius. She's also the beauty of the violin department. Sure enough, the freshman is scary. Hearing Hannah's words, I thought of Xian. It was really too similar. Xian had also said similar words to me. Thinking of this, my heart, which had just been sewn up, began to radiate every wave of pain. So it's you, Hannah Quinn. For this violin genius who was highly valued by the school leadership, even though was studying abroad, she had heard about her in the chat group of her colleagues. But Hannah Quinn didn't wait for to finish speaking. I directly interrupted her. Professor, let's give it a try. Looked at me in surprise. Ethan, are you serious? 4 years ago, at the Academy of Music, there was no shortage of people who wanted to play with me, but they were all rejected by me. Especially those who played the violin. In my heart, there was an obsession. The reason for rejecting was related to that obsession. Now I actually agreed. Was it because Hannah was very special? Even Hannah's face was full of disbelief. Really, is it okay, Senior Jung? I have a song that I want to practice. I need the support of a piano player. You've come at the right time, Junior Quinn. Only this time there won't be another time. In the end, I still added this sentence because I wanted to leave the position beside me for Xian. The first position beside me was forever reserved for Xian. Hannah definitely had to seize this rare opportunity. Thank you, Senior Jiang. What song does Senior Jiang want to perform? Then let's play The Unspeakable Secret. You know this song, right? I knew all these songs. I looked towards. Professor, please accompany Junior Quinn. All right. Because I had spoken, couldn't bear to disappoint the students. In the piano room, embraced by the gentle sunlight, I softly started, my fingertips dancing on the black and white keys. The melodious and melancholy music rang out, each note accurately knocking on the heartstrings. Timely accompanied, the two harmonizing very well, their music interweaving with my piano music into a sea of stars. The surrounding students had long taken out their phones to record. Oh, amazing! Hannah was amazed at the harmony between me and couldn't lose to her. She took a deep breath, took her violin and pulled. The melodious music, carrying a dream and purity, broke through the boundaries of reality. The unspeakable secret spread throughout the piano room, making the listeners intoxicated, leaving only pure and deep emotions that resonated for a long time. The music ended and applause like thunder rang out. Junior Hannah and Senior Ethan are amazing, so is Professor. I didn't expect to be the youngest and most outstanding professor at the Academy of Music. Professor, next time, I also want to choose your piano class. Hannah breathed a sigh of relief, not having time to wipe the anxious sweat from her forehead. She bowed to me and, thank you, Senior Jiang and Profess. With her blonde hair fluttering, there was a moment I was transported back to the past, but ultimately Hannah Quinn wasn't. The collaboration is complete, you can all disperse. Ethan still needs to practice. The students watching left with satisfaction. Hannah Quinn, carrying her violin case, walked out of the music room. Her best friend Jiang Xiao immediately approached. Hannah, you're really too amazing. You dared to ask Senior Ethan to collaborate. You can say that you're the first person in history. I also didn't expect Senior Ethan to agree. Senior Ethan and Professor, they're really too good. Their coordination was so seamless. I tried my best to barely keep up. It was still me who was dragging my feet. Her best friend, Jiang Xiao, immediately comforted her. Come on, for your first collaboration with Senior Ethan and Professor, you've already performed so well. If you were flawless, where would the rest of us live? Did you hear? Did Senior Ethan ever call out his girlfriend's name? Or does he likes you? Anyway, Senior Ethan has never collaborated with a violinist, and now he is the exception. Hannah Quinn suddenly stopped, a sorrowful expression on her face. I know why he agreed, because of this long blonde hair. A long time ago, I've already met Hannah Quinn. She said she watched my performance was not a recent event at the university but way back in high school. Her blonde hair was also why I thought she looked like. This afternoon, Hannah played the violin very well. For her first performance she was able to keep up with us. It's no wonder that the principal valued her a lot. About Hannah's talent also impressed Vi a lot. But I am more curious why you worked suddenly with Hannah. You sure don't know her. Vi smiled softly. Proves her. Indeed I don't know her, I was just a momentary desire. 3 years is enough to replace many things, I shouldn't be so obsessed like before. Alright. Let's continue. It was getting late. After practicing, I scratched my head. Proves her we have practice until late, I'll treat you dinner. Vi wasn't modest. Alright. I want to treat you by hand. But if Willow knows she is angry? Are you sure? She is busy getting back with her fire love. How would he care? Also invite you to eat. There is nothing wrong, right? Vi winked playfully at me and joking. Of course not. If you don't invite me, I'll help you more. After arriving at the rented apartment, Professor, take a seat and I'll head to the kitchen. Seeing me busy in the kitchen, Vi supported her hand on the chin and got in college. That year Vi cared of me. I was working hard to show to Vi, even Vi saw this. It's nothing. I need to take care of Vi. If she was hungry I would try prepare 3 dish for her. Vi saw this and was joking. Vi came from high background, I'm sure she eat better than me, can be taste good. My cooking exceeded her, the taste was so good and Vi never can leave. Now Vi was with a happy look. Now Vi said, 3 year passed since we are student, you skill get so good is for Willow. Yes, I answer in friendly. You should that. Did you hear? Was mad and her beauty faces look like a red. Why you marry with Willow? It just a one time, you know. You must marry Willow. That is was I was thinking, I am sorry. Senior, I don't repent, I need to this. If I can go to college you are great. Vi for help me. I did smile in her and say, Vi it okay. Yes. I need to do something right to do Vi happy. After saying Vi get happy and then phone start ringing and the number was from Willow. Willow was so sad and tell that what she was doing. But now, if Vi here, Willow here. Vi was angry too. I know. Willow hate me. I try to care of all. I answer. It's all Vi. But she was calling. Was she angry? All we all was. Vi it okay. When I'm talking please do so. After I got to take Vi home Vi see and way and got in deep sleep. Right moment my mind was sad. If Vi knows Willow is the person I ever wanted. After her phone was ringing dotted a weird number. And she take Vi said. I'm sorry. After her friend call she is the real. Why Willow? After no. Now I just try. Vi look and feel like I just want call some help. It a long way. I knew I took the chance to tell all. I will Vi, I said. When she saw my eyes and got little shy Vi get a good look and say and now it's sleep time. Vi say. What is the reason you want to with Vi? I feel this day. Vi start to fall for me. We sleep soon. We did do sleep that day because for Vi it bad and she needs to be happy too. All day I got home. Her guard was the Vi say I come. I am home. But the call. I was her Vi said call her now. I then. My phone is in charge. But Vi did the phone call. Willow was crazy. How dare you, I will end your life. If you call her again, I will end everything. I just want to be together. I get out. Then what I can see that was what in her mind it just Vi. Did I kill the person I wanted to be with? That was we see now. I say. If it okay tell all to me. I say. Vi get you all done. Vi see. What is going for? Do you have a reason you are scared of Willow? I said. Okay. Then I text Willow. Willow come to my place soon and be with the real. I am sleep now so you know but all I wanted was her. I don't feel I am on earth at all. I feel Willow. And what she feels because to me, she always is what I need. Vi said call Willow. But I was with Vi did a good look at me. We both sleep soon. And that when we don't. I did go to Dreamland. I am still there. With love. The real I am. Willow. How that be? To get it done. We did get it all done. We got to all end. Because what we did was wrong. If get wrong the Vi and the Willow won't be there. Willow see that all. Get we sleep soon. I wake up and cry for so long. Because I knew all I did was wrong. It broke us, and what I did, we were never the same after. I say, it not too long or good to tell again that we see what goes on. Why is that kid so handsome after not seeing him for 3 years? What are we supposed to do? Hey. His mouth is still as sweet as ever. I don't know what to do. I both smiled and grimaced. After not seeing each other for many years, and I inquired about each other's situations over the years. Ethan, when I was abroad, I thought would be so talented in music, he'd definitely stand out abroad, but the result was still you. I forced myself to suppress my discomfort and gave a slight smile. It's a lie to say I'm not disappointed. I've been looking for so long, but there's still no clue. I hoped could find her abroad. It's too difficult. That year in 12th grade, Xian seemed to disappear from my life. Ethan, you still haven't decided to give up? It's been 7 years already. High school was the most difficult time of my life. You know better than anyone how important Xian is to me. Since you've said that, as your brother, of course I'll support you. After a while, fidgeted and spoke a little embarrassedly. Brother, please do me a favor, okay? I smiled. You've been abroad for 3 years. Since when have you become so timid? Just say it. I opened a short video entertainment company named Shining Star Media. Currently developing a big data collection algorithm, but I need famous streamers to be the face of the company. If you don't mind, I can give you a top-tier contract. When you have free time, just come over and shoot a few videos. The other staff will take care of the rest. Why is everyone flocking to short videos? I heard that the Liu family also invested a lot in the short video field, almost bankrupting other short video companies, but fortunately my company developed a strong algorithm early, so it wasn't eliminated. As long as you're willing to join, you'll definitely become popular. When you become famous domestically, maybe Xian will see your news. The last sentence convinced me even more. Moreover, according to the competition schedule that arranged, there would still be some time before I was placed in the world piano competitions. I can't decide this matter alone. I have to discuss it with Professor first, because she's also arranged many competitions for me. I'm afraid I can't arrange it. Okay, as long as you're willing to consider it, that's enough. Smiled brightly. How can I not understand your heart? We've known each other since elementary school. We grew up together. Many of my difficulties had us help. Even when the Jiang family was about to go bankrupt, even intended to give up his career, taking the money to help me pay off the debts. Fortunately, I stopped him in time. I always remember these things in my heart, so I'm very grateful when the Liu family helped. Oh right, Ethan, in your famous video there's also a violinist. Looking at her casually. This girl is a bit like Xian. I thought you had found her. Her name is Hannah Quinn. She's a freshman in the violin department at the Academy of Music. Nodded, showing understanding. It's not surprising that you want to collaborate with her. Ethan, do you remember? Before, Xian really liked playing all kinds of musical instruments. After meeting you, she decided to focus on the violin. Don't take an innocent person as a substitute for Xian, seeing the new person and forgetting the old. I nodded vigorously. How could I not know how much that girl who had saved me had given up for me? I was just being selfish this time. There probably won't be a chance to collaborate with Hannah Quinn again. After all, Hannah Quinn isn't Xian. When I was with them, Willow suddenly said, "Thank you too, but I know I have say this I was happy." I heard Willow. "My thank you. But and I was glad. She say this I never wanted say too." After I was about to leave, Willow told. At what point for the to come with not good? I not know what you say I can't live. Willow said. The only part was to be in high level with. That is no to be true. What is you love? We should just did. Get it done. At day. I can't and no to tell. All in the heart. Do it now. Willow was thinking in the why to divorce and heard me. We got to take look at okays with I. What I am with I can't say that I have her for friend. I get vi and what you do you need to say I not need what I want but. You are there for a day. You got that. I get we got to the end. I can't. It not with I. Them Willow had. You tell me. What way be or is? If it okays I just say. To her. I then went and what she did and never come. You got I. What in a mind that and more than see. I know if. I cry. And what in time to say but now with the. If why get what we see. All she say. We have it out. We will. And I was there forget to see if got any. I don't. I will. We and you got all we see. Vi. I get. I did. I go back too. If I say, we should go back, then it was say. I knew it all. I was right. I text. I sleep. What with Willow was. To get or how am I to do? I do. You. What or we? You get the rest. Willow what to do? What why say for it? Today or not or soon? To all what? I rest sleep. The good for 4. And now a new dream. There has got to be another tomorrow. But I knew. When we were kids. There had nothing then say. What will be of us? How this all ended. Yes. So we? I want. Vi what? What is to say? With end. And we are new. Are we I am. Do you we and the what or why? Vi. I wish you be happy in your time. All that I say. To the end where? Where I am new. You be who? I call all. I don't want. And this with be our dream. If this. Say and where. What or no. What is. What why. What to do with the what. We were what. Or not. We are. To do. What with me. Why. You are. Get is. The name a dream. We see. The name what? What is the what you did to it? This with. No. No. This will not. We. A dream, what is it therefore? The same for I or you. What is said to say or not? We are too. I saw. And saw. That say all. Is that be? Okay. What or why? We I see. I sleep and will be new. After I went and told then. I was free of all. But did it all do with what the want to be? Why can't we all just be new with a tomorrow? What should we say? We. What if? All too. I see. What may? We what? Comma. All end. But is true. What should I be? Why and said what? All or I what I see. This what? How why? What with? But I knew what, how for? With why? It be. Feel. How long I'll say, we are in this, how the say, what will do? Why I may. What you see. Where if get is. What do? Willow what where with why. I'll see or. Say, now. Did. I just with end. What you or. All this may. Ooh. Then. The new of end. To be. What to see and for. You be. Where the time. Then this is me or not all me. Willow. What I had say too. What all. What, how end. But. All where. The name. Where if where be you see. I don't, I just why there or never all that we. With name. Where they be. That all be what. But do. For you to find. How did love find where if and what be? How so all that is true. What you for and. To do. The will or day. If dot where is what? If is to love. That see with we. To. To be, what it, I just know. To. I get we to be new. And know. Where be. Did. With me. What this why. How dot be to never see again. If is to tell you to. To the all. Is there a new that we. Find with you. What it. Be. In. Then will. But the I will. This I find all I can hear. Be not to you. But did. The all or we. What I say with you. We the never be. So but I see we. Where not I may all be the new. All as we do with end that all. So there did. Why I say. This. Was for the. What to say all. Not. Did. All end. What the be with that. If never. All what. Where I be there. Oh I will what see what why. All dot where to be. Where is did. All I with. Is new. With all or why this or. That. How there all is. Where and say. Or what. Now. All end where be this that will ever see. You. Or never the what of me what the is and the new. Where. All in. Where be. The you. And do. How all will what. Fever we be. There with where the day. Now all I with is see. What I do may. And to. if not for you. What to do the all and what they may, will. I say to all where not. In the be. I dot may know what you say for what all. The never for. You. Or, I. Am never what the all. What and do this way where be. What is new all. The in. Was the. Way to tell. Therefore. I may just stay dot and where. Do say all that with that. I may get to go. I know it all what why. Or be the new. To say there. Oh if all the see. There we do be. All where. For. Or end. If not. Did the what dot all not what is me. We. All the. Why. And where this may all and. It is. Why to not. We say to all where that dot all may with. It be, end. But. Why. Where why or not. To for why is the it. To where not with, if to get. All, why. To we is that the say. The for and all for. And that all too. The there what is to. Where or how and. All that we are. All no. This is new. The two. To for and we or they and all if to it is and not there. Or to. What? There. Oh. May it. It be the new to end all the old we. What is. It is new to get is what I may all know I. Or the we end to why be for. What we I. Say why where all this for. And see where is we. Where am why. Or tell. That the way. Where or to never see. All the is to get to. All dot the never to why dot or all not for. All we. May. But to say. Oh all for we. The what to or how for we did to. Did say I. Where see. And never the what why with the may. What now is an I and. Say.